Hey everyone, this is Someone Talks About Something. I'm someone, you're someone, we're all someone. And today, something we're talking about is the first episode of Games, Questions, and Lore. Now, this is technically the second episode because last week was the first episode where I kind of just talked about it, but I'm kind of labeling that as episode 0. So this is the true episode 1 where we're actually talking about stuff. And now, if you didn't see that video, I'd recommend go checking out because I explain what this series is in its entirety in that episode. So go check out that one and then come back to this one because this is a YouTube video and you can leave it and come back to it whenever. Now, the question for today is the crying child adopted? Now, when I say is he adopted, I don't mean like legally adopted, like William Afton went to the courthouse and was like, oh, I'm going to adopt this child. No, I don't think that's the type of thing William would do, but I'm saying, is the crying child not an Afton? Now, first thing with games, questions, and lore, the first thing we're doing is playing a game. The game we're playing for today is Freddy Fazbear Pizza Simulator or FNAF 6. Now, I know I did say last week that I wasn't going to be playing games that took much mental focus, but I decided, I'm just going to play a game and then record the voice lines for it, and then just overlay the voice over it, so then I don't have to pay attention to the game while I'm recording this voice line. Then I will be playing games that take a little more focus than I was playing in that first one. Now, if you didn't see that first video, I am doing these unscripted. Most of my videos are scripted from the Shadow Animatronics one to this video currently. Only 2 of them are not scripted. That's this one and the first episode, episode 0 of Games, Questions, and Lore. But all the others I completely script out and then just ad-lib a little. But, so let's start this off with some evidence. Now, what evidence do we have that the crying child could be adopted? First thing is the crying child's name. Now, I know some people say the crying child's name is Evan. However, though, the evidence for that is very weak and not that, strong of evidence. So I don't think that that could really work. Next, because the thing is also that with that is that no one refers to him with any name. I'm pretty sure in FNAF 4, the bullies just say, who's this, is this crying loser your brother or something like that? Like, they never mention him by name. However, though, the other 2 Afton children get mentioned by name. Michael gets mentioned by name in the anesthesia location because he says, Father, it's me, Michael. And then, what was it? Elizabeth, she gets mentioned by name in FNAF 6 Pizzeria Simulator, which is funny enough, we're playing that right now. In Pizzeria Simulator, in the true ending, Henry says, sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth, I believe the line is. So, she is mentioned by name, and so is Michael. So, why are both them mentioned by name, but Crying Child isn't? Now, I know Claire Afton isn't mentioned by name either. That's not her actual canon name. It's just the name people give her because of that TV show was Immortal and the Restless that people in Sister Location people see. They give Claire Afton that name because it's the only real name to give her except just some random name. But every other Afton is given a name, and Crying Child's a very important character, so why does he not have a name? I think that's something that really should have some evidence behind it, like why he doesn't have a name. So could it be that he just doesn't remember his name because of something that happened and then William took him in and now he doesn't remember his name? And I believe the security logbook also references that. I think it says do you remember what your name is or something like that? But I think that's towards Michael though. I'm not 100% sure. So if you could let me know, I'd really appreciate it. Now, if the crying child's adopted though, I think the crying child's parents would be important to the story. And just think about it right now, I'm trying to think who the parents could be. Could it be Phone? Wait, never mind. So there's a GT Live where Matt Pat mentions Willy's Wonderland and the Banana Splits movies, and he says that he thinks those 2 movies are FNAF scripts that got canceled, and then they were going to be the FNAF movie, but then got canceled, and then the studios were like, hey, we already got this script, let's just make a movie out of it. So there's a scene where in Willy's Wonderland, for those you don't know, the story is basically it's really just FNAF but with a reskin. Literally, so Willy's Wonderland has these mascot suits that are also animatronics. I kid you not. And the guy dresses up as the main person, Willy, and then kills people in the suit in in a special party room. I'm not making this up. This is a surprise party room. But then when when people start to smell stuff, which is referencing the FNAF 1 newspapers, the police raid the place, and then to avoid detection, they how do I say this without getting removed from YouTube? basically they drink some stuff and then do a ritual to make their spirits possess the suits. It's really weird but also pretty cool. It's pretty much just FNAF. But then that happens, and then the town sends people in there from out of town to be sacrifices. And with that, one of them has a child that's left behind when the parents get killed. And then I was thinking, could that be the case? And then if that's the case, who would that be? And I thought a phone guy immediately, but then I realized phone guy dies after the crying child's death because of the FNAF 1, night 1, I think, phone call where he mentions the bite of 87. So it couldn't be the phone guy because the death just doesn't line up. And I was thinking of another security guard. However, the security guards aren't really mentioned except Michael, so I don't think it could be one of them. Could it be FNAF, what's it called? FNAF sister location. Could it be that the body found in the vent be one of the parents of the crying child? One sec. Okay, yeah, so I'm pretty sure there's a sister location. The phone call person or whatever is saying that there was a body found in the vent once. Could that be the parent of the crying child? That's it. So there's a Freddy, there's a boy or a child in Freddy's stomach. Could it be that the Funtime Freddy, so Funtime Freddy lured a kid, no, come on. So could it be there's a parent and two children? One of the children is the crying child. The other gets lured by Funtime Freddy and then captured, and that's the child in Freddy's stomach. And then the parent tries escaping with the crying child because of what just happened with Funtime Freddy to tell the police. However, the parent gets stuck in the vent or attacked in the vent or something that kills them, but the crying child gets away and then is able to survive, but then is found by William, who's observing the place in Funtime. No, that part wouldn't really work with William surveying because he's surveying the crying child. I mean, I think it's possible, so maybe that's a possibility. So, after all that, what would this do to the lore? Now, this is the last part of it. So we got the game, which we're playing Pizzeria Simulator. We got the question, is the crying child adopted? Now, if it's true, if the crying child is adopted or just pretty much just not an Afton, what would this do to the lore? Well, it would actually explain a couple things. If I'm correct with the sister location thing, it would explain the child in Funtime Freddy's stomach. It would explain the person who died in the vent. It would also explain what the crying child saw, because in FNAF 4, there's the psychic friend Fredbear, which is William Afton, talking to the crying child saying, or don't you remember what you saw, or something like, if they catch you, alluding to Funtime Freddy attacking his sibling, which also makes sense because Funtime Freddy, now in the dark, desolate area of sister location, the Circus Baby place, Funtime Freddy would look very similar to the shadows that are shown on the wall of Fredbear performing. So that's a possibility. So it could answer then why the crying child's so afraid of Fredbears. Could explain why Michael is so rude and mistreats his brother so much, brother with air quotes, because again, if this is true, it's technically not his brother. So this could answer a lot of things, and I think there's a possibility this is right. But that's going to wrap up the video. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, this is Someone Talks About Something. I'm someone, you're someone, we're all someone. Now, if you think this is true or you think this is wrong, just please let me know, because this could affect the timeline I'm making right now, because that timeline is coming out next week. And remember, if you want to see it, please hit subscribe, because you're not going to want to miss it. But if you think this is true, if you think the crying child's truly not an Afton, please let me know, because this could affect the timeline I'm making, especially the early parts of it and then into the second parts of it. So please let me know what you think. If you think this is right, let me know. If you think it's wrong, let me know. Please let me know what you think. If you have any other suggestions for different questions you want me to talk about or answer, please let me know, because then I'll also look at those and then possibly make a video about them in like 2 weeks or so. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.